and happy first day of Vlogmas. I'm so glad that we're celebrating the season together, and I'm glad that you're here with me today. Welcome back if you've been here in previous years, and a very warm welcome to you if this is your first time. My name is Kim. I do Yoga for Knitters, which is a podcast that's roughly every month where we explore knits, what's on my needles, what's off my needles, sometimes books, sometimes baking, some chat, and of course a yoga practice every month-ish that will help you stay strong, stay open, and be a happy, healthy knitter. So that's me. That's what I do on YouTube. Vlogmas is all about celebrating the season together and sharing a little bit about what we do in our neck of the woods, which is central Alberta here in Canada. And today is the first day of Vlogmas, but it's also a very busy day because, of course, December 1st falls on a Monday. So I'm going to be running to the office right away, a couple of meetings first thing, and then, I will catch up with you a little later. So welcome. I'm glad you're here, and we'll talk again soon. This year I got the same advent calendar I did last year because I loved it so much. So let's find out what lovely treats are in store. Beautiful as usual. Thank you, Jules. Oh, there's some more. Cool. All right, here's number one. Let's see. So it won't be the same as last year. Look, I've got a solid color. Crimson, it says. Beautiful color. I'm going to be putting that into my Advent project. Wool and cashmere and silk. Oh, it's so soft. Good morning. Hi. Oh, hi, Sleepy. Hi. Good morning. Well, that was a long day. I am so looking forward to leaving this place and just going home and not thinking about work. Aww. This is what it's like walking to feed the dogs every day at supper. They get so excited. Those two wrestle, and this one gets in my way the entire time, right? Yeah. Are we gonna have supper? Oh boy. It's a rare thing indeed to get eggs from the chickens this time of year, but I always check just in case. They just don't have enough light to lay. So let's see. Nope, 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 nope. Eureka! One egg. This year's Advent is in two parts. The first is a blanket that I'm going to make with this Yule and Yarn Advent yarn. Although I may not get through the whole Advent because it's a lot of yarn and it's a big blanket. And the second thing is a pair of socks with the Cozy Knitters Advent Holly Jolly seasonal yarn. So it's self-striping, I believe, which means I can do one stripe each day, and that should get me through Advent. So tonight is cuff and stripe, and then I'll ball both of these up and put the socks in my cute little bag. That was actually part of a teddy bear that I got from Stitched by Mrs. D. So yeah, it's gonna be a wonderful Christmas season. I did it. I rolled up all the yarn. So let me tell you what Advent is gonna look like this year. I'm so excited. I actually started early because I had some skeins, balls of yarn left from last year's Advent. They were these beautiful marled earth tones, my favorite. And so I started working on Kay Jones's crocheted, you can probably guess what I'm going to say if you watch the Bakery Bears, jelly roll blanket. So this is as far as I've gotten. 3 rows. I forget the measurement, but fairly long. Let's see. Like that big. So I'm very excited. So my plan is to carry on. I don't have the other colors. Oh, why is my hat in here? My plan is to put the colors from Advent in here, but as these are, actually this is going to be great having a solid color because I do have some extra scrap yarn that I can throw in there that's marled, so that will continue on with this cool marling color. So at the moment I'm holding it double with either one of these white balls of fingering that I got from the custom woolen mill. It's very rustic. Or I got this wonderful ball of, what is it? Shetland fingering Harrisville design. Oh, nice. I got this in a Advent a couple of years ago. Thanks, Molly. And I have another green ball from the custom woolen mill as well. So but when that runs out, I'll be able to pair these yarns with some other scrap yarn and I'll just keep crocheting. I am not a fast crocheter. That's definitely not my forte, but I'm learning and I'm enjoying it. And yeah, so this has been like probably a month of work already, but I've really enjoyed it. So I'm going to carry on. That's Advent project number 1. And Advent project number 2 is the Cozy Knitter sock set. And there are, I think I counted 17 4-color repeats, so red, green, white, and gold. So I'm not 100% sure, like if I did 8 stripes per sock, like 8 4-color stripes per sock, that would give me 16. But I'm not really sure on the size, and I don't want to do a toe up because that's not my favorite. So I think I'm just going to wing it and do a simple pattern and do no more than 16 stripes, although I don't think I'll get to 16 stripes because my feet are not that long. And that should work. And then whatever's left over, maybe not. The red's a bit strong. I'll just save it for something else. So it was a very long day at work today. We had a meeting with the accountant, year-end stuff, and then a meeting with the insurance broker. So I stayed awake the entire time. I brought my knitting, but it was too complicated to do and listen and take notes, so I didn't get anything done. I always bring my knitting to work and then never get any done. I don't even get a lunch break most of the time. Well, half the time. I have these great ambitions to go for a walk at lunch and then never do. So I thought, because I was going to try to do a Yoga for Knitters video before Vlogmas started, but I just didn't get a chance. So I will tell you about a trip that my husband and I took while I play you a video of this trip, because it was a whirlwind adventure. So my husband found a deal on a hydrovac truck. This is a truck that we already have 2 vac trucks in the fleet, but he wanted a hydrovac because there really isn't many trucks that can do that kind of work where we are. So he really saw that there was this gap in the market, and the truck was a repossession. So he was kind of gambling on it and decided that this is something he wanted to invest in. So you wait and wait and wait to find out if the sale is gonna conditionally go through. Because of course he wouldn't buy anything without looking at it first, but it was it was in Abbotsford, which we didn't know at the time. We thought it was in Langley. So if you know BC, they're about 45 minutes apart. Yeah, so Abbotsford's kind of like as you come out of the interior, BC interior, and Langley's a lot closer to the coast. So anyway, I was in Ontario on the other side of the country, which is, it's a big country if you don't know Canada. As in Ontario with my daughter, she was visiting her boyfriend, and I was chaperone because she just turned 17. So, I mean, when I was 17, I was definitely crossing the country all by myself and doing whatever I wanted, but that's why I don't really want her to do that. So anyway, I went with her. I met him. He's a great kid. And I believe I did put that somewhere online. I can't remember where it is, but if I find it, I will link it below. So anyway, my husband and I, so he gets the call. I'm coming back on Monday night, and he gets the call on Monday, I think, that yes, they're going to sell us the truck as long as we think it's safe or in good condition. So you can't just fly out there. That would be easy. No, we had to drive because he needed to bring tire chains and like a whole kit of things that he didn't know if the truck had, but had to have to be like road legal. So that's all fine and good. So we decide, okay, well, we'll drive out together in the pickup, and then he will get the vac truck if everything works out, and then we'll drive back. And I will drive the pickup and he'll drive the vac truck, all fine and good. But the roads, if you've ever driven on the Trans-Canada Highway through BC, the roads don't go like this. They go like this the whole entire way. It was very, very curvy. It was, late in the year, early winter, so it's very dark most of the time. And oh my God, the other truckers. Scary stuff, scary. I don't know how they're not afeared for their life, but the way that they drive through those mountains, I was afeared for my life. And then it rained, and then it snowed, and like as we went through Rogers Pass, it was pretty snowy, and there was a lot of construction. It was all dark, so it was like a white knuckle kind of event. But as you can see through the footage here, it was an absolutely beautiful trip while it was daylight and you could see what was going on. And I haven't driven through those mountains since I was 20. So that was a long time ago, by the way. So it was really, really cool to make that whirlwind trip and see that part of the world again. It was cool. I wish we could have stayed. It was just in and out. And there was a little blip when we were in, that was still in, where the heck was it? Hope? Yeah, I think it was in Hope. We had to stop and get tires because there was one tire that was gonna not make the trip. So we had to go to a found tire and spend some time at the Tim Hortons restaurant and wait for the tire to be replaced. But it did get us home. And then there was one other blip where my husband, there was a scale and you're supposed to always stop, get weighed, but he didn't because it said something about like stop and check your tires or check your brakes. That's what is a brake check. And something about he had just done his brake check at the last place. And anyway, long story short, he got a ticket. Very embarrassing for a professional driver. Anyway, I could bug him about that. It was kind of like he likes to joke that it was our honeymoon, but I actually have big plans. Sort of like nothing's set in motion yet, but what I would really like to do next year, hopefully next fall, is go to Scotland. So Christine, if you have any suggestions on where to go and what to do, I'd love to hear from you. Yeah, that's what we've always wanted to do. His family is Clan Farquharson, and my family is part of my ancestry's out from that way as well, although we've both been in Canada for several generations. In fact, we've been in Canada, my family's been in Canada so long that I named my daughter Calixa. And you would think, well, that's, isn't that the name of an old pope or something? But no, she was named Calixa after Calixa Lavallee, who is the fella who wrote the Canadian national anthem. And I thought I'd give her the most Canadian name I could think of because, yeah, she's like, what is she? 7th generation, something like that. So our family has been in the New World for quite some time, but anyway. So yes, we would very much like to go to Scotland, and I just think that would be the coolest honeymoon ever and the best birthday present, because probably those two things will line up at the same time. So I'll see if I can make some plans. Mostly the plans are to find people to do the work for him and me while we're away. But it's not impossible. We can figure it out. The kids will be old enough to look after the animals and old enough to get themselves to and from school. So it could actually happen. Did you ever go on a honeymoon? Where did you go? I have never been on a honeymoon. I've actually been married twice, and no honeymoons for either of those marriages. So I think that would be pretty cool. But I'd love to hear about yours. Where'd you go? Why did you pick that place? Did you go right after you got married, or did you go 10 years later like we might do? Anyway, I'd love to know. So it's getting late. I am going to start working on, which project first? I think I'll do the cuff. I'm going to do a top-down sock, and I haven't decided on the pattern yet. I might just make one up. But you don't need a pattern for the cuff, so that's where I'll start. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in on day 1 of Vlogmas, and I will see you again soon. Night.